Wellness Show, episode 91.
Welcome to The Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyson Bannigan, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more. Welcome to The Wellness Show, and today I'm excited to have Maia Pollan on. We've talked before, and we're going to talk again. And what we're going to talk about is self-actualization in the matrix. We all know about the matrix. We all know we can get lost in the matrix. But let me introduce her first. So Maia is a full-time artist, physical alchemist, and hermeticist, coaching with a sign of authenticity, an eclectic flair, complemented with an awareness to be mindfully aware. I like that, mindfully aware. Maia assists others to transcend conventional society bindings like the matrix by revealing to them their divine gifts. She personifies higher vibrational understandings within the cosmic dance of life, such that by embodying our magnificence, the I Am presence, we find the true path towards personal and collective ascension to embrace one's descension. What do you mean, descension?
To descend. Oh, well, often many out there are working with ascension. I work with descension.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. I got it.
Yeah, so it's great to ascend, right?
Yeah.
But we want to descend our spirit into our own body and become the experience. And to do that, we need to descend and become grounded, bring our spirit in, as opposed to operating outside of us or above us or below us or whatever, perception we have of where our energy body is. So I bring that body in.
I like that. So you're really what you're talking about is full body enlightenment right here, right now. So bringing spirit into the physical aspect of not only us, but the planet. So I understand that you are, is it in San Francisco now?
Yes, I am.
And your course, and the course is called 7 A's to Awareness. And that this is over an extended period of time. So Maia, could you tell us about what is this course and what are you taking people through?
Well, it's a 7-week course that ultimately unveils and unleashes different layers within yourself and gives you a better understanding of who you are, as well as the atmosphere, others, and the world that you live in. So if we look at the two things that bother us, no matter who we are, where we are in our path, it generally is our own selves and how we react to situations, as well as the world around us. So the course itself gives one the opportunity to learn deep knowledge into how the universe operates, your space inside of it, and allows you to step into the driver's seat as opposed to the passenger or the back seat and become a causer and a shifter inside the matrix, as opposed to another dominating life form or thought form is what I prefer to call it.
Wow.
We're surrounded by many dominating thought forms.
So you get to be in the driver's seat in your life probably for some people for the first time.
Correct. And the program works beautifully because it's not geared, or I do not gear it to where a particular person is in their level of awareness. I bring it forward where no matter who you are in your level of awareness, this program will work for you. There's a beautiful saying, once we become a master in a skill, we then find ourselves as the novice. So when I have a group together with me, you have one being who's just on the path of self-discovery. They're asking the questions. And then I have another who's been on the path for decades. Normally, where that person was decades ago in that novice state, we forget little bits and tools along the way. We become more desensitized. And this is where that meeting of these 7 axioms, that take place in these 7 weeks, these 7 layers of consciousness is what I like to call them, really begin to engage. And then we can unite that's collectively together. So it has many different aspects and opportunities. I think I made myself clear.
Yeah, that's great. I like it. So it's a group process, and there's no, and you can enter it at any level, knowing that in that innocence, in that purity, is many ahas for those that have been down the path ahead of you, and that there's, in that innocence is absolute beauty as well. So everybody gets to learn from each other. Am I getting that right?
Correct. Yes. And because I particularly work a lot with quantum language, we live our lives often susceptible to our reactions. And our reactions, where do we learn them from? Our society and our experiences. So in those reactions, our subconscious mind tends to become a little bit convoluted in our language. So I move around that language so there's more clarity, which allows even someone who has been on the path for a while to be able to suddenly realize, oh my, I can shift this. I can be this. Whereas it's to align more accordingly to who they are.
So
quantum language is a very powerful aspect of manifestation and self-actualization, and getting it right is the key. Yeah.
So did I understand you that you said that you're talking about quantum language as, I'm going to put it in some other words, that there's an energy in it that's greater and beyond the normal way that we use language on the day-to-day.
Correct.
By speaking in that way, you're actually helping actualize a person to come more into their divinity because it's resonating more clearly inside of them. Am I starting to understand what you mean by quantum language?
No, actually, you completely understand. Not starting, you completely understand. Just trying the right term. Yeah, you understand. Yeah, right, it's so about a simple question. Yeah, go ahead.
So let's go to the 7 E's of awareness. So what would be the first one?
The first one is vibration. So we always work with vibration first. And vibration has, it is what we are. It's movement. Science validates it. We're matter and energy. And in that matter and energy, our mind is also a vibratory flow and movement. So becoming aware of our own vibration, the atmospheric vibration, as well as others' vibration, including the experience of the vibration and the experience is why vibration is the first axiom in learning how to begin or become a being of self-actualization inside the matrix. And it's how everything flows, right?
So it's sort of like the neural network, or the way in which everything is held together is through the vibrational frequencies. And so what you're helping people is to understand the vibrational frequency of the matrix and who they are as a vibration, and then how to
inside the
that matrix without being caught up into it or overwhelmed or brought to a standstill.
Correct. And well, not as much as a standstill, because everything's always moving, right?
Yeah.
I always like to it's even when something looks like it's not moving, the stillness of a river, right?
Yeah.
Or a lake, that stillness, we meditate on this stillness of this lake, but in fact that lake is moving at a very fast vibrational level, speed, rate, but we're unable to tap into that speed. of that lake and that water and that element. So this is where I have many different techniques and tools where you can actually be able to experience that that movement that lake would have, as opposed to just being inside its stillness, become part of its movement, part of its matter.
Yeah, I like that. So what you're saying then is that every blockage is an energy which appears like you're at a standstill, but in actuality, if you shift your consciousness, which you help people do, then you can find a flow even in the blockage that will bring you to some new awareness, and it no longer is a blockage. Is that what you're getting? Wow, that's powerful stuff. So
I'm just incredibly happy that you can actually bring it into perfect layman terms. This is brilliant.
well, it's like the basis of wizardry. It's like the basis of alchemy, that, you know, you're in the process of teaching people how to transform their world and how to be the active participant, the active wizard. So that's very, very exciting to me, because really this is a way to self-empower each other. And it's all, and that's the pathway to enlightenment. So what could be better than that? I mean, there's no other bigger game on this planet. So, I mean, that's my bias. That's why I'm here. So to find someone like you who's teaching people, giving them a toolbox of how to navigate through the matrix, to me is a very, very exciting. Very exciting.
Well, it's, you know, what I generally tell, you know, people who join the class, I don't like to look at people as students.
Yeah.
I find we're all on an equal, we're all equal in some form, so I approach everybody as an equality. Is that once you start the 7As, you don't realize in that moment, that first class, that this will become part of you for the entirety of your life, until you come generally towards just about till the end, where it becomes everything that you are. Because it is really, you use the term toolbox, it is the toolbox to your own self-discovery. As a hermeticist, I'm on my own unique individual path inside the one, experiencing the one. And these layers inside the 7As, they just keep expanding, expanding, and expanding. You know, we've got 256 layers inside the 7As that we're already aware of, but try learning and recognizing what all those layers are. So I've been on this path coming up on 22 years, and I'm still, you know, I've got a pretty, my layers, I'm only probably a little bit over at 50, little over 50 layers, you know, so it's a process that becomes you, you know, and you become more recognized inside mankind consciousness, sound consciousness, what it's like to be that amphibian, that water element, and yeah, I truly enjoy it, so that's why I have a little bit of a smirk. I love what it looks like at the end when someone takes the class, that transformation that takes place. There is nothing more beautiful than watching somebody transform their lives, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine that that's cool. I mean, we started with the first A out of 7, and you jumped to 256 levels. So, and we didn't even talk about...
Sorry.
No, that's all right. But we didn't even talk about the second one. So what's the second A?
The second A is polarity, which is the most fun. It's my master, is polarity. We all have a master in these seven basics. Polarity's fun. We work with mental states and feelings and how to alter the poles. So I have a statement, which is we will our intention to shift our vibration to focus our attention to alter the poles. And there's a reason why I phrased it this way. And altering the poles is the biggest game on this planet. You know, you learn how to, your mental states, how you feel. Oh, I guess we take it out.
So we were talking about what is the second A. So once again, you were saying that it was polarity.
Yes, polarity is the second A, and it is the most funnest funnest, if that's a word.
I like
Axiom. It allows us to work with duality and really recognize this game of infinite possibilities that we're living inside of in the matrix, or this hologram, whichever term you want to give it. We work with mental states and feelings and how to move a feeling, move a mental state. I often, a good way to describe something is, you know, we hear things out there about choose love or fear. So the beginning of polarity is learning, what does that mean? First of all, it's to bring into your awareness, what is the difference between a mental state and a feeling? So love is a feeling. Fear is a mental state. So we can either love in fear or love in joy. So really, we want to move from, you know, fear to joy, not fear to love. So one of the challenges that human beings have in this process is they're trying to choose love instead of fear. And it's like they're on a treadmill and they can't get anywhere, but I'm choosing love, I'm choosing love. But the real question is, are you loving in fear? So we work with that mental state, the mental state of fear and the mental state of joy, and find other mental states that would optimize your experience of love, so you can come to recognize yourself as your own divinity, as love, and move out of, officially eliminate the mental state of fear and replace that with joy. So that's one example of polarity.
All right, well, right. That was a bit confusing, so let me jump in and see if I got this one. This is really quite exciting. So see if I've got it. So you're saying that, and I'm going to put this in a different way, and I may be totally wrong. Are you saying that love is a state of being able to understand and accept both the fear, the experience of fear, and the experience of joy? That, in other words, if you accept fear for what it is, you know that it has the opportunity, if you understand it correctly, to bring you back into joy. So now you don't fear anymore. Am I getting this, or are you getting?
That's correct.
And that the joy is the state you want to be in. So when you're in fear, don't think about that you want to be in love. Really what you're saying is you want to love the fear. So I think if I got it right, you're really saying that we need to learn how to love the fear as much as we love the joy, and that love is the holistic synthesis of both of those, what would appear to be opposites. And that if we just move from fear looking for love, we're missing the fact that that's not the opposite of fear. The opposite of fear is joy. Did I get that correct?
Yes. And it's recognizing, hold up, that fear is a feeling, joy.
Yeah.
Joy and fear are mental states.
Right.
They're actually in the poles. And love is a feeling. So you can't change, you can't alter a pole from a mental state to a feeling. You can only alter mental state to mental state. I'm going to change this mental state. I'm going to change this feeling inside the mental state. So every time, ideally, when we look at fear and love, we're trying to change a mental state to a feeling. It's never going to happen.
Well, you know, that's extremely powerful, because what you're really saying is you can't change anything with a mental state, because if it's not coming from an emotional feeling state, it's not going to change. So if I want to
Correct.
focus on something mentally, which is a hard lesson I'm learning right now, it's not going to work. They'd have to go to the feeling stage in order for it to actually be able to manifest into something different. That is a huge, huge one. And we're only on the second A. So what's the third one?
And keep in mind, we do this for 7 days each one, right? So, and there's a dream lab. So the dream labs run all day, 24 hours a day. So I, for the most part, keep myself available almost 24 hours a day.
Well, now that you brought up the dream one, I get that too. So in the dream state, that you're in the feeling realm, and if you try and move in the feeling realm by trying to use your physical body, which is your mental, you're not going anywhere. And in fact, you'll get yourself really, really afraid. So the only way you can move in that state is by thinking from A to B, not trying to move your physical body from A to B, because there is no physical body.
Physical body. Yeah, what is that? The most beautiful saying that I have heard, which I love, is that illusion is reality and form is the deception.
Right.
That's a hermeticist statement, because we're always trying to move this form.
Mm-hmm.
But our form is the deception, right? We are our consciousness when we are, we had spoken earlier about descending your spirit. And to descend your spirit is to become the conscious living life force of your spirit in the here and now, right? So, and the form, yeah.
All right.
Gotta
so
love this. Gotta love
two.
this skin, right?
Yeah, so that's number two. So what's number three? What's the third A?
The third one I jump around. It depends on the class where they're, each group is different. So three, I'll move around. Sometimes it's correspondence, sometimes it's frequency. It depends where the group is in the work that they've done. So so correspondence is really getting into the language barriers. And I know I've rambled, and I hope I've made myself clear during this, during our conversation. Correspondence is my weakness, by the way. We all have a weakness in the 7As, our mastery and our weakest link. So my weakest link is, I'm great in quantum language if I can write.
Uh-huh.
So I write a lot. I have a book out, and it's the writing allows me to express more legitimately, as opposed to communicating through my vocals. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like something we can work on. Being a coach of coaches, I can't help but want to jump in and say, hey, well, we can work on that. I can help you do that.
Yeah.
But that's just, but I love that fact. So what you're telling me then is that there's propensities that each individual has, that one of these A's is going to be probably more predominant than another, which gives us the opportunity to look at how we can show up even more by helping bring through one of those A's, like say the speaking from the throat versus being able to write, or balancing the writing as a communication tool with the voice. So that's interesting too. It's sort of like the chakras. Some chakras are more dominant than other chakras. And if you're in the area of divine gifts, which is a previous interview to this, then one of there's 3 predominant divine gifts out of 7. So it's interesting how we're all sort of like permutations and combinations of the infinite possibility of how we can show up from divinity into the physical form, and that we are, although we're part of the one, we're so uniquely different, and that we have our own sort of soul song to sing, to show up with. So that's really quite exciting.
Ooh. Oh no, you just cut him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's by the way, those what we do in the 7As is everything fits into the 7As, including the 7 chakra system. So we fit the 7 chakra system. All the chakras fit into all those axioms. So that's actually one of the assignments that I would give someone, and you can always play with it, is which chakra is vibration.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that what you're doing with this is you're really creating a roadmap for an individual that the matrix is not becoming a limiting factor anymore, but it's at the playground. So it seems to me that one of the things that I was frustrated on, whoever dropped me off on planet Earth, I was convinced that was the wrong planet. And
I'm with you.
and secondly, where the hell's the manual? Where's the operating manual for this planet? Because it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And really what you're doing is you're helping people, give them an operating manual. Like, not only are you giving them the drivers, you're giving them the driver's test to navigate the neural network of the matrix. That's pretty powerful stuff. Because it seems to me that if I'm guessing this right, there will be no matrix.
Excuse me, Han, repeat your question?
Well, it
or your
seems to me
statement?
that we all know how to manage and drive and navigate through the matrix. It's just another neural network, and once we understand it and synthesize it, there's no more network. There's no more matrix. It literally dissolves.
Well, the matrix has it's like any let's say Super Mario Brothers, right? You go and you get it's a game. It's its own matrix.
Game of life.
You're playing in the and this is the same idea as Super Mario Brothers, but ideally, if we have no matrix, because this hologram, this allows us time, it's a whole other topic, time and duality allow us to experience, allow spirit, allow source, God's self, to be able to experience itself inside this matrix. So the moment that we do not have a matrix or a hologram to engage or interact with, then we would cease to exist, would we not?
Well, we would be a creator God creating our own matrix, but that's a different topic.
And all the many different worlds, that are out there to experience. Yes, it's a very good analogy how you described it. It is a roadmap. The 7 A's. It shows you exactly how to navigate through vibration, through frequency, through correspondence. We also work with gender.
Yeah.
The manifestation of gender and how that operates, the masculine and feminine. And that's always the last axiom, because it's the most difficult for most to actually embody and understand, is that masculine and feminine gender aspect between the 4 emotional planes of quintessence, emotional, mental plane, and physical plane, and how that manifests itself inside us. And so, there's infinite possibilities in the 7 A's, and each individual applies the material differently on where they are inside their need or what they want. And ideally, the whole goal is to bring each being to walk out of the class, being able to look at themselves from a space of no judgment and no dogma, so you can open up the doors to opportunity. And when you realize that you can open doors to opportunity every single moment of your life in every day, and you can observe that prior to making a choice and be clear and focused, that is what empowers us to truly experience a full life here, as opposed to someone choosing it for us or a system choosing it for us. Yeah.
So
I appreciate
a full sovereign human being, fully actualized on the path to enlightenment, and even becoming a creator God to create your own matrix, if that's what you so desire, with all the rules that go on with it. So if you don't like this world, create another one. Is a possibility, a potentiality.
Yeah.
I really like that. It's a really, it allows this to be a Super Mario game with a lot of sense of humor. You can't take it too seriously, because according to the law of polarity, you can choose something other than the way that you want to show up. So, and even
Correct.
the dark square can be the light square on the chessboard, and even you can get off the chessboard if you don't want to play. So this gives us infinite possibilities of how to show up, which creates a lot of freedom. And I like really what you're saying is in the choice. You have a choice in every moment, with every thought, with every word, with every deed. What is it you want to choose? Do you want to choose to move closer to your divinity, or further away, or closer to enlightenment, or not? And you're providing that opportunity for people to learn how to do that. So how did you come to this? What was your aha experience that allowed you to begin this journey? And we only have about a minute and a half to go, so just to let you know. And including that, how do people get hold of you so that they can work with you?
They can go to synergisticascension.com, which hopefully will be listed on this video somewhere.
Yes, absolutely. It'll be in the show notes.
Yes, there you can contact me either via email, register for any classes, personal sessions. Personal sessions I work with by donation, so long as it's a fair exchange of energy. I'm good to go. Just I'm OD'd on cookies, that's all I have to say. As well, you can, my phone number is listed there if you feel the need to pick up the phone and call, as well as there's Facebook, LinkedIn, Maia Pollan. There's only one of me on this entire planet, so whenever you Google, you will find me. So that's probably an easy way to locate me on social media. And yeah, and the next sessions for the 7As, the webinars themselves, they're starting next week and the week after. And I hope to have anybody who's interested to jump on in, because it's a fun journey, as well as a lot of relationships are built through the 7As. So long-term relationships.
It was great to have you on the call, and obviously we just started the conversation. So we're going to have you back, and we only did 3 of the A's, and we are at 256 possibilities and infinite
at least
potentiality. And we are already creating a new universe. So other than that, we had a lot of fun. So thank you, Maia.
Thank you very much, Thompson.
It was a lot of fun. Bye for now.
No, bye for now. Thank you. Bye-bye.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.